and thank you for all you coming today. We are live on the air, and I got a very special guest for today. All of you know me as Sarkis Serge Melengitchian III, Armenian singer and hockey player and international singer as well. Thank you for all you being here today, and my very special guest today is a very good close friend of mine who's into networking engineering, Mr. George Ghazalian.
Thank you, Sarkis. Thank you for the introduction. It's my pleasure to be here with you. Like, we've known each other for a few years now, and like, it's always a good time. I'm glad to know you, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that, and thank you for coming today. Today is the debut episode of my podcast, obviously. Սիրելիներս այսօրվա ամենիդ գիտեք, որ ես Sarkis Serge Melengitchian III-ն եմ, հայ երկիչ եւ հոկեյիստ, մեր հայրենիքի ավակական եւ գիսա պրոֆեսիոնալ հոկեյիստ եւ երկիչ։ Մեր այսօրվա հյուրը բարոն George Ghazalianն է, լավ եւ ինքը networking engineering-ի մեջ է։ Anyways, I will be translating Armenian or English. I also speak French and Spanish. Oui, je parle français aussi, mes gens, et si yo hablo espagnol también, si vous avez des questions en français ou en anglais ou en español, si yo hablo español también, o si ustedes tienen una pregunta, puedes preguntarme en español también. Mucho gusto a conocer a todos. Nice to meet you all. Thank you for all showing up here. Anyways, right now, so far we got 2-3 people joining our live. Anyways, yes, այսօր իմ հյուրիս կուզեմ որ հյուրասիրել ավոր խմիչքը կանադական բիրա, ոչ, ես կանադական բիրա գսիրեմ շատ խմել. I would like to, for my special guest, like to introduce you with a nice Canadian beer, Bush beer, one of my favorite beers.
Yeah, nice.
Absolutely. Cheers,
cheers.
brother.
Cheers.
Enjoy. Thank you for coming definitely today.
Thank you to be part of this show.
Absolutely. Anyways, Mr. George, so you're into networking engineering. How about first start off, tell us about yourself, and also, take a look at camera too. Tell us about yourself and your life and how did you came about to Canada.
Actually, we are like backroot, like Armenian from now is occupied by Turkish. After the Armenian genocide, my family, or not my family actually, only my grandfather, who survived the genocide when was a child 4 years old, moved to stay in Syria until one of our town, he collected like 20 kids, those kids who survived the genocide, and we stayed in one village until we moved to a city called Hasaki. Where I came from.
So you're from Hasaki? That's the
Yes.
city you're from. Okay, I never heard of Hasaki. See, in Syria, I've heard of Aleppo, which is Halab. I also heard Damascus and Ramishli. It's the same issue we have as Canadian Armenians. Most people always tell them you're Canadian Armenian, or you're from Toronto or Montreal. They know the big cities. See, they don't know that we're from a small area, which is St. Catharines. But I represent St. Catharines because most of my life I lived here, even though I was born in Toronto, but I also represent Hamilton too because it's another small community. So tell me about Hasaki. What's it like? How many population, Armenians, this and that?
Well, the thing is, both Kamishti and Hasaki, they
Yeah.
are neighbors, like kind of like Hamilton, St. Catherine.
Oh, okay.
It's similar to that. They are city basically after the genocide. The Christian, both Armenian and Syriac, moved there and established new cities.
Okay.
So they were tribe before, like Arabic tribe, but like after the Christian came and they built the city. So both Kamishli is like and Hasik both for Christian actually. That's how they established. But the majority we have a lot of Armenian Kamishli because Kamishli now is actually on the border on Hasik a little bit more south.
Okay.
So people in Kamishli have like kind of like you could say before like almost half of the people are Armenian. So you have like big community and a lot of people like came from Kamishli. moved to Aleppo and moved to Beirut.
Oh,
So like if
okay.
you go to their like where their like document paper, like for example, like in Syria we have like a system on everyone register where so you need to go back to your or your family register even if you move to different cities. So a lot of people actually their paper not Qamishli. So that's why it's very famous because a
Oh.
lot of people stop there and after that they move to Aleppo and
So they don't have papers of Ramishli, they have papers.
no, they still have paper on Qamishli.
Oh, okay, because they
So-
were born over there, basically.
No, because like their grandfather came there.
Oh,
So that's what
okay.
they're just in the beginning. After that, they need to come back. Something we call nufus. So they need to come back there for any document. Now you can see everything like you can get it wherever you can because you have networking now. But before, like people need to travel to Qamishli to get their document.
Okay.
Yeah, so
okay.
that's why it's very popular Qamishli. Hasake is a lot of Christianity, but as Armenian, we are a small community there. So we have both Orthodox and Catholic.
Okay.
Actually, I grew up as a Catholic, Armenian Catholic.
Were you baptized as an Armenian Catholic?
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay.
My dad baptized as an Armenian Catholic. We are Catholic back in Armenia, so 90% of the Armenian are Orthodox, but you have a group of people that are Catholic, and we're with that small group.
Well, I wouldn't say Orthodox because we are a first Christian nation. There's the word called Arakelagan. We're Arakelagan.
Yeah,
But we don't have the word in English translation, but I like to
So-
call it First Christian Nation because when we became Christian in the year 301, I believe after 700 years, as a state we became Christian, but 700 years later, Eastern Europe as a state became Greek Orthodox, Western Europe as a state became
Catholic.
Roman Catholic. Exactly. However, yeah, that's fine because I kind of understand where you're coming from because you live in Hasaki, sorry, my bad.
It's okay.
I don't hear that city that often. Hasaki is a very small community, so there's Armenians, some
Catholic,
very
some-
small, and also some of them are mixed, right?
Yeah,
And there's no Armenian school, I believe, or
we
Armenian
have
literature
small
that much.
Armenian school. We have like
But it's not very populated, basically.
it's a small school. We're not like Kamish and Talibo, we're a big community there.
Yeah.
But still have like thanks to the government in Syria,
Mhm,
they always supported us. So
mhm.
like they let us have our freedom to practice our religion, to practice our language, everything. So
Yeah.
so the government always was supporting us to become as an Armenian, and even through the history, Syrian helped a lot of Armenian,
Yeah.
especially in the genocide time. So again, thanks for Syrian.
Mhm,
They were still 1.5 million
mhm, mhm.
suffering that genocide, but still Syrian, they were the one actually we survived. Who they are survived actually.
Yes. Yes.
Because everything went through Syria to survive through they call it desert, but actually it's called Badia.
Mhm.
So where are a lot of people end up of their reserve. If you heard of that city, their reserve.
The reserve.
Their reserve is south of Hasaki.
Oh, there's Zor.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so a lot and there and very sad story.
Mhm.
But after that, I grew up in Hasaki until everything happened. We faced a lot terrorists, Kurdish militia who make our life difficult.
Yes.
End up leaving the country because of that. Moved to Beirut. After that, I moved to Canada. But before that, I had my own business in my city. It's around 200,000 people, roughly. And I had business security system at the time. I doing intrusion CCTV. I moved to Lebanon. I worked there in the same business,
Mhm.
and after that, I went to university both in Syria and Lebanon doing business.
Okay.
But at the end, I had to to stop and keep becoming the where I study here, network engineering,
Okay.
security analyst.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and you are a good member of the community. Oh, and also you're a good you're a good host when it comes to organizing parties and all that stuff.
Thank you.
I just want to remind you, you remember the Christmas party where we did in 2021, Sunday,
Yeah.
December 26th? You hosted that party, and we
Yeah.
had a full house, and it was during COVID time,
Yeah,
ladies and gentlemen.
that was a hard time to host a party.
Yeah,
Indeed, yeah.
yeah, and you remember while you were hosting that party, here, I'll put a little clip on that.
Yeah, like it was restricted with the people. We have
Yeah.
to be, because they open it after that. After that, they need to be specific number. It was like it wasn't easy to hold, but it was at the end nice. We managed. That's the
Sorry
party.
about that. No, it was something, a little bug here. I just want to remind you the thing you did. This part I really like. I find it really funny because you meant to say 2021. You accidentally, I want you to hear this part. I don't want to spoil the surprise moment. So yeah, at the party, this is what you say. I have a little audio clip for that.
Okay.
So listen carefully, ladies and gentlemen. You meant to say 2021. Thank you for all you being here, and then you introduced me. Watch how you said it. So.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight we celebrate the Christmas and New Year for 2021. Today I'm going to introduce you our greatest grandson of the legend Armenian singer Manuel Melengitchian. Here comes Sarkis Serge Melengitchian.
Thank you for all you coming today. Շատ շնորհակալ եմ ձեր բոլորը տեսնելու այսօր Սլավորին։ Ոչ թե այսօր մենք պիտի քեֆի համար եկել ենք, Christmas party համար, մենք այսօր եկել ենք մեր հայկական մշակույթը եւ մեր հայկական ավանդությունը շարունակելու։ Բոլորս միասին։
Anyways, what you meant to say is thank you for all you being here for the Christmas celebration of 2021, but you ended up accidentally saying 2120.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
But I love that. I thought that was fucking hilarious. So I'm not joking, but
It's okay. Stuff happened.
yeah, of course, yeah. But you know, that was amazing.
That's actually the first time I.
Yeah, you hosted a good party. It was
Yeah.
sold out for COVID too. You know,
Yeah.
there was too many COVID restrictions during 2021, right?
Yeah, like they changed the number just a few days. Sometimes you feel like they do that delivery. They just change the number for the party, how many people you allowed, stuff like that. And I don't know, like it was something, but at the end it was alright.
Absolutely.
People enjoyed their time.
Oh yeah.
You did a good job there, like you sing.
Everybody was dancing. Everybody was dancing all
Yeah.
night. Just like old school Armenian music. See, this is where I like to come across every time as the Armenian singer and hockey player, you know. And I never changed the style of music since the 1980s, the 70s, the 90s, the early 2000s. This is where I come across. I like to keep the Armenian music still original. See, that is why, and also I like to come across that's why I love bringing Armenians like you from a small town from Hasaki, and now you're living in a small town in Hamilton, and I live in St. Catharines, right? I was born in Toronto, Ontario,
Okay.
but I never lived in Toronto. But when I was 1.5, my dad moved from Toronto to Hamilton. I was baptized there at 1.5. Now my daughter Maida, she's also baptized there at 2 years old.
So you are from Hamilton. If you baptized in Hamilton, you are from Hamilton.
Well, not exactly, but at 3 years old, I grew up in St. Catharines, small town.
But here's the thing: we said the baptizer is your your official birth for you. So like
Not exactly. I didn't live there long either. So 1.5, I got baptized. Okay, say what you want, but I probably lived there 1.5 years. At 3 years old, I moved to St. Catharines. 7 years old, I moved to Montreal,
Okay.
and I went to Armenian school from 7 to 10 years old. So I know how to read and write still,
Good.
but not very good, rusty. And I know how to speak very well Armenian, of course. But after 10 years old, see, from 3, moved to St. Catherine's. And St. Catherine's Armenian Church was the first Armenian church of all of Canada. It was established 1920, I believe, but I'm going to get more documents on that. I'm going to have other people to interview on those.
Yeah, there are a lot of people like from St. Catherine, they know well about the
Well,
history.
Absolutely.
And actually, people came, like in St. Mary Day, people
Yeah.
came from the States
Yeah.
to St. Catherine Church just because they celebrate the St. Mary.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
They go back and forth. See, in our
Yeah.
small communities, we don't have that problem. We support the church, the club, everybody's bands together, this and that. But if you go to the bigger cities today, California or Montreal or whatever, there's a lot of separation and there's a bigger population, unfortunately.
But the thing is, put it like that.
And
Yeah,
a lot of the churches and the community centers are closing down now. See, I wish we can support everyone if we can, you know, that's the thing.
Well, the thing about it like that, like in Canada, we have a lot of parties, like different opinion.
Absolutely.
So when you get big community, like in Montreal you mentioned, like you have different opinion,
Yeah.
and everyone like belong to some group or other. However, they all end up under one umbrella, which is Armenian Christian.
Absolutely.
So that's the end of it. So like,
Armenian Christian, and I like to say, believe it or not, I created my own, not only I created my own dynasty as an Armenian, because Manuel Melengitchian, he's the famous singer, he's my grandfather Sarkis' first cousin. Manuel Melengitchian is basically my grandfather's father and Manuel's father, they're brothers.
okay.
So they're first cousins. So me, I'm the second generation singer right after Manuel. And also we got a lot of famous artists in our family, the Melengitchians. That's why I'm Sarkis Serge Melengitchian III, I am. Because my grandfather, Sarkis, is the first, Sarkis Melengitchian first, Sarkis Serge Melengitchian II, he's in Toronto. He's my older cousin, and I'm the third, obviously. And the thing is, we got a lot of artists in our family, like my uncle, Khachik Melengitchian, he used to be a famous actor in Lebanon. Viken Melengitchian, he used to be part of the Armenian dance group, the folk dance music. He's a great dancer, the guy. My cousin Shahe, he's a bodybuilder, you know, and he does competitions and stuff like that. And my other cousin, Sammy, he's training to become a professional wrestler. His ring name's Sammy Blade.
Big Armenian family.
We're a family of artists. And my father, Devdatev Kana Melengitchian II, you know, Devdatev, he's a priest. My dad went to study seminary. Yeah, and my other cousin Armin Melengitchian, is a good keyboard player, musician as well. So,
And your dad is a good man.
well, thank you.
Yeah, like I always enjoy the conversation with him. He's a very good and honest man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, he got it. Well, I got it from him.
Yeah.
But me, I kind of like, I go over the top a little bit. I go too much where I start to offend people. I gotta be careful all the time. Right?
Yeah, no, like he's like always like you respect and enjoy his company.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
And my dad loves politics. That's the thing. Sometimes he gets too extreme about it. See, with me, when it comes to politics, I don't go this far side, I don't go that far side. We need somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
And the thing is, there isn't something in the middle as a political party. Somebody who tells the honest to God truth. We have that problem, you know, George.
Well,
In any nationality, every country.
and like even today, like when you look, I don't know, you look in Canada, you see like everything going to extreme. So like sometimes you get scared from the extreme the left they want now. So like yeah, so everything is still not much in the middle today. So
Yeah, and the thing is, you're right, because years ago, during 9/11 attack and this and that, you know, long story short, I don't want to get in complete details, maybe another time we talk about those. In those days, it was always the right, the conservatives, the Republicans the left, which is liberal and Democrats, they were always bashing them every time, and always the people, they were like, go liberal, liberal. Now it's turned into the opposite, and COVID happened, and the economical crisis,
Yeah,
the war in different parts of the world. Long story short,
yeah.
now the right is bashing the left, and
Yeah,
back and
I
forth.
don't
Every
know.
10, 20 years, something new and something stupid comes up every time.
I'm not
There's
saying-
nothing in the middle. That's what I'm saying.
I'm not saying I'm right, I'm not saying I'm left, but the left today is too extreme, so like very scary.
Yes,
very
yes,
scary.
they are.
So,
And they weren't like that.
No.
See, because don't forget, I'm born and raised here. Well, my parents came here in 1986 from the Lebanon war. See, we have something similarity, just like you said about Hasake, sorry.
yeah,
Got to remind me a bunch of times. I get used to Hasake.
yeah, okay.
It's like my parents do. My dad was born and raised he was born in Khalil Badawi.
Okay.
His mother was born in Lebanon, Khalil Badawi, but his father was born in Damascus. Because of that, they never gave him a Lebanese citizenship, so he never got a citizenship. My dad actually got first time in 86 as a Canadian. They came 86, I was born 87. My mom was born in Aleppo, but at 5 years old, then she moved to Kuwait. My grandfather was a truck driver, then moved to Saudi, then different parts, because my grandfather was a good truck driver, right? Long story short. And then finally they moved to Lebanon when my mom was 10. So she didn't get to live long over there. She mostly lived in Lebanon, but they came here in 86, and now we're really Canadian. We're living here now almost 37 years. And March 13, I'm going to be 37. And you're born March 5, I believe. We got something in common. We're both Pisces, right?
Yeah.
Pisces babies, we're number one, bro. I don't care what anybody says.
Okay.
Us Pisces, we're full of life, right?
Okay.
People
Yeah,
who
I
are
think so.
born in March, right?
Yeah.
And I was born Friday the 13th. That's the thing. I was going to be born March 12th, but it was past midnight 5 minutes and it became March the 13th,
Yeah, like your family, like you have, my family is very small family.
Yeah.
Because only my grandfather who survived.
He was the lone survivor of the genocide.
Yeah, so
Just like my great grandfather was.
yeah, so like from us, it's only my grandfather survived, and at the time, even like here's the funny story. Both me and my brother,
Yeah.
we grew after my grandfather, and that's because like my grandfather was named George.
George.
But after the genocide, if they found someone with name of George, they would kill him. Even he's 4 years old, and everyone know
Oh my God, yeah.
that. So at the end, he hidden in a village,
Yeah.
and they had to change his name to Ibrahim.
Ibrahim. Yeah.
Ibrahim is a common name for everyone.
Like Abraham, basically, in Hebrew.
Ibrahim,
Ibrahim, yeah.
like so. After that, one of our town who survived, like he wasn't in the town at the time, so he came to those villages, and what he did, he paid gold
Yeah.
to get my grandfather back. So like, so for 20 kids, they paid gold to get those kids back, and after that, he still keep his name as Ibrahim, and that's why my oldest brother is named Ibrahim. And when I came, they called me George based on his original name,
Original
George.
name, yeah.
So my grandfather has two names because of that. Because in there we don't have the mid name, like here you have like
Yeah,
mid
we have
name.
middle name.
We don't have that. We only have one name and your father name.
Yeah. Oh yeah, same with us.
Yeah.
My middle name got created. That's why my mom put Serge, because it's a translation of Sarkis. Sarkis means Sergio,
Yeah.
Sergios. So my mom put Serge. She likes it more French European, also because I'm going to be born and raised here.
Yeah.
In English, they call me Serge. Everybody knows me as
Yeah.
Serge in my community.
Yeah.
And,
So-
yeah,
So that's why we both. But our family is just small because, like, so I only have a few cousins, not much, and all of us educated, and yeah, like a small family. My mom's side, my mom is actually not Armenian, it's Syria.
Syriac. Yeah.
Yeah, Syria is actually the native people of Syria,
Yes.
and those a group of people like way before Arab. So the Arab occupied Syria later on. So my mom, she speaks actually Syriac, and Syriac actually is the language of Jesus.
Yes,
So
that's true. And
yeah.
also Syriac and Assyrians and Chaldanis. Tell me all about this whole thing.
So here's a lot of people they thought all so they are Assyrian is different than Syriac, but all
Oh,
kind of from the same root.
okay.
Like so they even like if you go online you can see like the difference between Assyrian and the Syriac and even the Hebrew. All those Semitic.
Mm-hmm.
So those Semitic group. Syriac, Assyrian, Kildani, Babylonian, all of this group. But like Assyrian, they have different language than Syriac.
Okay.
And Assyrian, they are basically what's called now Iraq.
Yeah.
Syriac, people in Levant. Levant is actually Jordan, Palestine, Lebanon, Syria. So that's Levant.
Yeah.
Um, of course, like now we have the other things going on. We go through politics. I'm not here for politics.
Yeah.
But this
Maybe
is like,
another time we
yeah.
can save it.
But the
Few
Syriac,
weeks, yeah.
actually, the native people of Levant. So mainly people who speak Syriac in north of Syria.
Yeah.
And in Damascus, were a city like Sidnaya and Ma'lula. And Ma'lula, you find people who are actually Christian and Muslim speak Aramaic.
Aramaic. Okay.
Yeah. So it's the same language.
Mhm.
So like if you go to Ma'lula today, you find people there speak Aramaic.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. See, I didn't know these things, and a lot of parts in the world they don't know these things today because a lot of these nations, they used to have a country at one point and they had their official language in that country, but they ended up getting taken over and
Yeah.
they changed the name and it became a different regime, right? Maybe.
Yeah, like we
Am I right?
have the Ottoman after that. The Ottoman like occupy.
Yeah, the Ottoman Empire.
Yeah.
Also, there was another empire too.
Yeah.
That came.
That's
The Arab nation or
the Ottoman. They came to Syria. That's there was no school. There was just 400 of darkness, I would say.
really.
So there was no school. The only thing they allowed people to learn is the Quran.
Oh wow! They
So-
didn't allow. They actually forced it, right? Was it a
Not-
force or they
for-
allowed?
Well, you could say it's not between force. Like actually, Ottoman, they will both agree about the Quran. Everyone agree about it. So, but there was no school.
Oh, there was no
So
school.
the only school is left was kind of in Christian community.
Yeah.
With small schools. So that's why we call 400 of darkness under the Ottoman because
Oh,
when the
okay.
Ottoman left, there was nothing.
Mhm.
Like and when the French came, still they occupied Syria and
Can you give years when the French came and stuff?
the French came 1920
Okay.
and they left 1945.
Okay.
And of course, at the end of the day, they were occupying Syria,
Yeah.
and they left, and that's it. But when the French came, like, here's the thing, like, it's a good and a bad about it. The bad part about it, they were occupying Syria,
Mhm.
but they did something to the country, like reopen more schools, like they support, and the government later on who came after, they continued those stuff, hospitals, so like just the Ottoman part, like 400 of years, just was
Mhm.
darkness. So I hope that will never come back to it.
I hope not too. Absolutely
Yeah.
not. I agree with you, especially the genocide that we went through, our great grandparents went through, and your grandparents. It's like, see, this is why we have a lot in common. And what I come across is, see, there's different countries in the world, and there's Armenians in different parts of the world, but they always phase out or they miss the Armenians from small towns in different countries. Just like you're from Hasake. Nobody's ever heard of that. Even I didn't know about. That's why I wanted to talk about. And the thing, I'm going to be translating that in Armenian too. So I got my Armenian fans from different parts of the world to understand what we're talking about. Just like us, you're from Hamilton, I'm from St. Catharines. If they talk about Canada, they know Toronto, Montreal, and that's about it, right? Wherever the big communities are. They don't know the small communities where we're surviving, and we have quality in our small communities. Just like I finished doing the New Year's party in Hamilton. It was a big party. Unfortunately, you were there. I wish you were there.
Yeah,
Everybody was having fun, and all my fans in social media, I'm sure they've seen it all, right? But the thing is, Toronto, two different clubs. One is AGBU and one is the High Throne. They tried to do a New Year's party, but unfortunately they canceled. But us, as a small community of 2,000 people in Hamilton, it was full house. And we did probably the best New Year in a long time, See, and that's the thing. I like to support all Armenians in the world, whether Armenia or outside Armenia. That's where I come across. And there's so many dying communities, and there's so many Armenians, just like yourself, in Haseki. And there's also in Turkey, whereas Hamshin Armenians. There's a lot of Armenians who saw lots of small towns and villages in Turkey. They don't even speak Armenian, but they go to church, they pray, and they're trying to get to their roots. Just like here in Canada, we have the small communities that I talked about. They're trying to get closer to their roots, or a lot of them have went other way, and then one point in life, it used to be the biggest community, whether it was St. Catharines or Hamilton. St. Catharines, the people from genocide descendants in 1915, they built the church with their own bare hands, and they had a community of 10,000 people. Today, 90% of them, either some of them are dead or some of them are mixed. They're gone, right? And there was one big community in New Jersey, in Rochester, Grand Island, New York, in Detroit, Michigan. They still have the statue of Gomidas in Detroit, Michigan, right?
Yeah. Well, I think people.
And some parts in southern states too. Even California, there was the old Armenians from the 1920s, the 30s, the 50s, the 60s, and today it's completely new. A lot of the churches got abandoned today.
Well, I think what happened, especially like a city of like Hamilton, like there's a period, like I'm not, but I heard about it. It's like a lot of factory in. They used to call it the steel city, Hamilton.
Yeah.
Because it's just like they have so many industry for steel.
Yeah.
However, a lot of it they closed. Only we have one factory now. So I think because of that, a lot of people move out of Hamilton.
Yes.
So like they went to different city, and that's the thing. I think now after the Syrian came, you have kind of like a fresh blood in the church.
Yeah,
So,
every 10, 20 years, a different Armenians from either Syria or Lebanon or Armenia come. If it's not for those Armenians that come every 10, 20 years, the old comers, a lot of them are gone, or
They're moving around, so
moving
like,
around.
you cannot really say because like and to be honest, like if you talk about their life in Canada, it's like people they have no time.
It's difficult.
It's difficult.
Our
like-
cost of living's too high.
Yeah, and the thing is like sometimes I feel like it's being pushed again. Like before, like Sunday was off.
Yeah.
So like it was no work on Sunday. Today they push, like they force you if you're not working on Sunday.
Yes,
You
you're right.
cannot work, and
That was years ago.
the thing is, Sarkis, I'll tell you something.
Yeah.
I face a lot. I didn't get a lot of jobs because I didn't work on Sundays.
Yeah.
And this is like they talk about discrimination. We're facing discrimination against Christianity because how come if I'm not working on Sunday, I cannot get the job? And I face that a lot.
Because it's turned into a business. And
But
I agree
but
with
the
you on
thing is,
that, because you're
people-
saying, yeah.
But
go ahead.
here's the thing, they say like discrimination.
Yeah.
We want to talk about discrimination. Let's talk about people who has the right to not work on Sunday, has the right to go to church because I
Absolutely.
need to go to church. I have to go to church. Like I don't work on Sunday. It's full of stuff for me.
I agree with you.
And the thing with that, a lot of companies, when you mention that, they say okay, I never come back to you. And I face a lot of difficulty through time. I have like one of the reason like at the end. By the way, I established my new business.
Yeah.
It's called Scartalian. And this business like doing networking and security system like CCTV, access point, access control, intrusion alarm, fire alarm, everything to do with networking.
It's called Scartanian.
Scarlett
Scartanian.
Scarlett, yeah.
Oh, Scarlet Yan. Okay,
Yeah.
you put the Yan at the end.
Yeah.
Make
Yeah.
it more Armenian. Scarlet
Yeah.
Yan. I like that. That's freaking catchy.
Yeah.
Anyways, you have it on Facebook or
I
Instagram?
have a page on Facebook. I just established it now, and if anyone needs something to do with networking, security system, I'm here. And I delivered the job in very good shape and like with good budget. So because at the end I found like it's more like you working here and you working here for companies and you end up with nothing really. And on top of that, it's very discriminated against Christianity about going to church, about taking day off. So I found okay, do it for yourself. I used to have my own business for 6 years now in Syria.
Yeah.
So it was very good. It was very successful. But I came to Canada. They told me the system here more like companies. Everyone work for a company.
Yeah.
And
you tried doing that, and you had to follow along with their rules and regulations.
I like
and you want your Sundays off, and they won't.
Yeah, that's the main.
And I completely understand why you take the Sundays off, because we're a Christian, and we save that one day in the week for God.
Yeah.
And that's completely understandable. And everybody has the right to preach whatever religion they want. But as long as they work hard and they pay their taxes and they do all that stuff, you have every right to have your Sunday off. And I know most companies, I know what it's like, because I'm born and raised here, and this is the bullshit part in our own society, our country. And a lot of people are going to get offended now, but I really don't give a shit. But this is what it is. They go, oh, you don't want to work Sundays, so I'll give you less hours. I'll give you 2 days less. Oh, but if you do work the Sundays here, I'll give you 5-6 days a week now to work.
Yeah, so
See, that's where that's not fair,
it's
They got too many employees try to work things around with everybody.
and they say like discrimination. We are as Christians facing a lot of discrimination.
Absolutely.
I used to work for a company like kind of with the policy like they don't have discrimination against religion. So I said, okay, I'm working here, but I'm not working on Sunday. They say you need to fill a form, but until the form is full and ready, you have to. I said I'm not working on Sunday. It's full of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then the day I managed to make the form and like work and everything. The year later, they told me I need to do the form again. I said, why is that? I said like, well, maybe you change it. I said, I told them I'm going to do the form.
Yeah.
However, I born and I will die as Christian. It's simple like that. I'm not going to change my religion every day, So, so the thing is, I found one of the things here is discrimination against Christian, and they say a lot of people say no, there's a lot of Christian. Go to the market and start working and say I'm not working on Sunday and see what will happen. Like you can do whatever you want. You can practice religion, but you need to come on Sunday. Why is that? Why is forcing that? Sometimes you feel it's anti-Christianity. It's like it's become like that, and like here you go, like
our society Canada's been around more than 150 years now. If you go back in the 1950s, all the way up to the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, shopping malls used to close on Sundays. All businesses used to close on Sundays. It used to be a Christian, Catholic society. They turned it into atheism after 30 years later. People used to close Sundays. They used to save the one day with God, with family, and this and that. They just want 24 hours business, work and pay, tax. This is the problem we're living these days, and everybody's got to try to make ends meet all the time. Sure, if you don't believe in religion, that's fine. We don't care if you believe or you don't, and you prefer working Sundays, go ahead. But people just like yourself, who believes in Christianity and wants to work on the Sundays, you should have the right not to work on that day.
Yeah, but it's not like that. They say like, here's the thing, at the end of it, they told you, yeah, everything is like yeah, we don't have problem because they don't want to face the reality. But at the end of the day, they hire someone. Your profile is much better, but your profile for them is bad because you don't work on Sunday,
Absolutely.
and that's like it's nonsense, you know.
Yeah.
So the thing is, if people told me about like why is that, why and actually the company pushing like harder and harder, and and somehow you feel the government support that. Like the government doesn't tell people like if someone doesn't work on Sunday, he
Mhm.
has that right because like for every and by the end of the day, even it's not for Christianity. Like we need a day people to get off so they spend time with their kids,
Absolutely.
like standard everyone, because you
Absolutely.
cannot just make it like one day Sunday off for kids, one day Monday. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
Where's about family?
Well,
The family is being destroyed as well. It's no
absolutely.
time for families.
There is no time for
And
families.
the thing is, you just have to work. Today, people have to work for 14 hours to their bills. Is that right?
Yeah, no, that's too much. Because years ago, see, lucky for me, I was born and raised here in '87. Unfortunately, you came in the wrong times in Canada, like 5 or 6 years ago. A little before COVID, and some people they came after COVID. They came in the worst times. Back in the '80s, the '90s, where I was growing up as a child, Saturdays, Sundays, everybody was off. At my parents' place, my uncles would come, my aunts would come,
Family.
both my grandparents would come. We'd all eat, we'd drink, we'd crack jokes. Uncle Henry would come, he was a jokester, he was a comedian, we'd laugh, ha ha ha, all that stuff, right? We'd sing, we'd play some music, it was fun. Or there was events at the church or the Armenian club, we'd all go over there and we'd have fun, right? People would work, most of the people, like my uncles, my aunts, my dad, they'd work during the days, they would not work at nights. Or some people would just work nights, but during the weekdays. But most of the time, the weekends were always free for everybody. And at that time, minimum wage was only $4 or $5 an hour. You could have bought groceries for $100, $200 that could last you for the month. Today, every time we go fucking grocery shopping, it's costed us less than 2 hours just to buy a few things, $200, maybe $100.
Yeah,
When we're being
this
conservative.
become ridiculous.
It has become ridiculous. Right after this fucking COVID, all this prices went up 5 times, at least 5 times. You could have got back in the '90s, there was 2-for-1 deals. You could have got 2 medium pizzas, 2 for 1 for $15 or $20, or sometimes $10 if it was a special or what, and you got 3 toppings on each. So later years have passed by, a medium pizza was $5.99 or $6.99.
And can you tell me just for once? Just for once.
You could have got like 24 slice deals and a couple pounds of wings for only $24, $30, right? With the tax and all that. We didn't have to pay HST. We only paid the GST, which was only 7%. They got the HST in the early 2010s. 2010 or something like that. Even 2010, the prices weren't too bad.
And but no, like him, like the
after 2020, everything got
no,
fucked.
even before that, even like people put everything to blame the COVID. Or here's the thing. Canada is like the second largest country in the world.
Yes.
So number 1 is Russia, Canada is number 2. So we have the resources.
Yes.
And how many people we have? 35 million.
Yes.
Here's the thing. That's true. However, we have resources, but not everywhere you can live in Canada because you cannot live in the north.
Some people can't.
Oh, yeah, it's
And
true.
some people could.
Yeah, but the reality, like if you look at the majority of people living in Canada is on the southern part of Canada.
Yes.
So that's for some because okay, you can live in the north, but that's not really practical. Not like
Yeah.
it's more extreme that way here. Here is already like bad. Like last week was -16.
Mhm.
So it's already it's not easy. However, the southern part is better than the north.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna interrupt you on something you're saying right there. Okay, there's two ways of it. I kind of understand why you're trying to say, like, not everybody can live up north, this and that, but you know what? Today it's gotten so ridiculous with immigration. Like, okay, my parents were immigrants too in 1986.
Everyone's immigrant here.
Absolutely. We all are at one point, but
Yeah.
I just want to talk the 80s.
Except the native, of course.
Yeah, of course. That's another story.
Yeah.
We're all sons of immigrants.
Yeah.
There's second generation Canadian. I'm a first generation. There's second generation. There's third generation. There's fourth generation, right? And now we have the newcomers. Okay. I don't have a,
And it will be in the future.
Oh.
How it's normal.
of course. I don't have a problem with newcomers, but I do have a problem. The ones like yourself who come here, who want to work, who want to contribute to society, who pay their taxes, and then who tries a family, you know, but there's that little small majority, or maybe the 10%. Okay, first of all, it's hard to explain. You'd have to live here before. In the 70s, 80s, it used to be every year maybe 1% newcomers coming. So everybody that came, not everybody was on welfare or social assistance, this, that. And if there was a welfare, let's say, people who went on, the government would call every single week, okay, did you find a job? How many places did you apply? You have to apply at least 10, 20 different places so they can keep funding you. But they were on your ass most of the time, right? So you can find a job. They didn't want you to live on the system. Today, it's like we got more than 30-40% newcomers coming. And it's like some people, they want to work. Some people have professions like yourself.
Okay, here's the thing.
No,
Here's the thing. The number is not quite right.
Okay.
30% mean like 10 million. I don't think we have 10 million.
Not 10, not a
Yeah, but-
30%
no, but I
population,
would say-
30% more than it used to be in the 80s.
No,
That's what I'm
actually,
trying to say.
here's the thing. Today, like,
We got way too
that's
many
why
coming
that's
today.
why it stopped me. Like, I was going to say something here. Like, today, like, everyone's immigrant, but that's not the problem. The problem is everyone living in the southern part, I was saying. But the thing is,
I was about to get there.
but the thing is, here's the thing.
I was about to get there.
Yeah,
I
but
didn't
here's
go.
the thing. Like, United States, they have 300 million.
Yes.
So now if you add for them like 500,000 or even a million, it's easy for them to adapt. Why? Because they're already building housing. No, they already
Yeah,
they
go ahead.
have the housing.
Yeah.
Now we have 35 million living in this country.
Yeah.
If you bring every year
We have to spread them around.
here's the thing, if you bring every year 500,000, okay? Do we have houses for 500,000?
We don't.
No, we don't. Does the government building housing for immigrant? Not I'm saying just like immigrant in general, like people, newcomers, just any
Okay.
newcomer. We have students, we have workers, we have so many immigrants here. Do they build housing? No, they don't. So what they do? They go to the companies, give them money, and ask them to build housing.
Mhm.
And at the end of the day, those companies, they're going to charge the money they want. They know
Okay.
there's not enough housing.
See,
They know it's not enough housing. So how can you fit 500,000 of people?
they're all
when-
coming to
when-
Southern Ontario. That's the problem.
That's what I
See,
said.
this is where I'm trying to
Yeah,
get.
that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
But the 500,000, and you don't have enough housing.
Okay.
So what will happen?
Okay.
It's not just housing. You have the housing, you have the grocery, you have the infrastructure. Nothing built enough for 500,000. So where they go and end up? So they're going to live in place. But here's the thing: your house used to be like living alone. Now you need 2 people 5 years ago. Today you need 4 people to live in a house because you cannot afford to rent a house by yourself.
Absolutely. Sometimes more than that.
You cannot afford to rent a house with 2 people. You need 4 people to rent a house.
Okay. Here's what I'm going to say right now. Like I told you, like I see where you're coming, but I was about to say similar to what you're saying. We got all these people coming. Okay, we cannot throw them in Yellowknife or Yukon Northwest. No, it's impossible because they cannot live in that -40, -50 cold, and there's no resources there too. I get that. But here's the thing, everybody's just coming to Southern Ontario. Everybody, either they're going to Mississauga or Toronto or Windsor.
Montreal maximum.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, there's so many small towns we have in Ontario. That's less population. They need to live there. There's so many small towns in places in Quebec City, or other small towns, same Vancouver, Manitoba, this and that. We got lots of land, but we don't have enough people.
We
That's
don't
our
have enough
problem.
houses.
See, we're talking about United States. United States is overpopulated as it is, but the problem with the United States, they got that problem in Texas, California, or whatever that is. Too many illegals are trying to run or escape. A lot of people are going with bribes, this and that, and some people are getting shot and killed
I
at the
don't
border.
know.
No, you don't, of course. I know things in different parts of the world. That's why I have you here, because I want to learn different things too, you know. I want my people to learn too, whoever's following me.
Yeah.
The problem with Canada is, okay, number one, anybody that comes here, I don't care who it is, white, black, whatever, anybody, all people, we come here, number one, we all have to work. We all have to work together.
Who tell you people don't work? They work. They have to work. They actually have to work 12 and 14 hours, Sarko. But the reality is today, they can't even afford a house
I know.
because there's no much
I know.
housing. That's the problem. The main problem, the main problem, we don't have enough housing.
I get it. I've been
They working.
I've been living here 37 years. I can't afford anywhere. I'm still living on rent too. That's another thing. So here's what I'm
Well,
saying.
you're lucky you can rent by your own today.
Well,
Today is difficult.
I work hard too, you know, I do.
But even, like, here's the thing, you need him, I'll tell you something, in Hamilton, go rent an apartment.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
It's a Hamilton, it's not even Toronto, it's
Yeah.
not like we have a lot of business there.
Okay, anyways.
But because we don't have enough
As-
housing,
Okay,
everything go up. If we have more housing built in,
okay.
this is here to blame the people, or actually here to blame the government who bring people and don't have enough housing for people, don't build housing. Before, government built housing, no?
No, not
They did.
exactly. That
They
was
did.
in the 50s.
They did.
That's, okay,
They did.
George, I'm talking from 80s, 90s
From
standpoint.
from 80 to 50, how many people
Okay.
have extra?
Let me bring it to you in simple terms, like layman terms. Okay, in the 1920s, the Great Depression days, a lot of old school Europeans during the World War I, World War II who came, Ukrainians, Polish, or all sorts, and right now they're like third, fourth generation. A lot of them got sent up north. There was dead land. In that time, Canada did not have an economy in 1920s or 30s. So a lot of people like you and me, if we came in any part of the world, they gave us free land, but you have to work. Government's not going to pay you, you have to build it yourself. So you have farm animals, you have this, that. People grew
They
themselves.
give you a land, okay.
They gave you the land. Those were the
Okay.
20s, because those were the Great Depression days. People had to work, people had to build it themselves. Then in the 40s, 50s, like as it progressed, you know, then the 80s, the newcomers like my parents came, people left from Lebanon, some others left from Eastern Europe or some Soviet countries in the 80s or the 90s, they came. They also came and they worked, nobody collected welfare, this, that. It wasn't that easy to get social assistance. Problem today though we have, not only the immigration's a little too much,
A little is too much.
yes.
Because no housing, that's the main problem.
Well,
If there was enough housing,
okay,
then
but
everything would
George,
be different.
there's some like yourself, who come and who work and they try their best and they're still living on rent, which
Because
they
not
need
enough housing.
help. But there's,
No, because not enough housing.
I know.
That's the main problem.
see,
I don't, and
you're cutting me off where the point I'm trying to
I don't
make.
need
No.
help with the money. I need help to, like, the
You
house
need-
should be available to everyone.
Yes,
And
yes.
it's not.
This is why, because the housing problem, people from India or from China or like rich people who are coming, or rich students who are exchange students, they got millions of dollars. Do you know that the school tuition, I had to pay, or you had to pay, because right now you're a Canadian citizen too right now. We pay $5,000-6,000 a year for school tuition.
Yes.
And we have to take OSAP, we have to take a loan, right?
Yes.
To pay for it. But the exchange students that come here, some of their parents are in the government, or some of them
Not
have big
necessarily.
business. Oh, listen to this.
Some, not
A
all.
lot of those,
Some, not all. We cannot
no,
say
no,
all.
a lot of them, most of them. A Well, this is a fact. I know a lot of students, and I'm going to be bringing on my show, and you're going to be watching.
Okay.
A lot of them that come here as exchange students, they are paying at least $10,000 a year for school
A year?
tuition.
No, you're wrong.
Or
For a semester.
15,000.
For a semester.
There you go. I'm
Like,
talking about 5 years
I
ago.
studied in the college. I studied in the college, and I have friends international. They pay 8,000 per semester.
Okay, I get it.
So like if they do 2 semesters,
Okay.
that's 16.
Okay, I'm giving them too much credit right there. I'm saying too low.
Mm.
Okay, for the whole year, it's 16,000, 20,000, right?
Yeah.
2 semesters, let's just say.
College, not university.
Okay, college, just
The
college.
university
I'm not
much-
even getting into
No,
university yet.
university
I
much.
just want to make
Yeah.
it simple right
Yeah.
here. Okay, so they're coming, they're paying too much because they got lots of money. And guess what? A lot of these exchange students that come here, they're coming with money. So guess what? Houses back in 2010, early 2000s, 80s, 90s. In the 80s, houses were only $50,000. Then in the 90s became 60, 70. $100,000, you could have got a whole mansion. In the 2010s and whatever, the houses became 200,000. Reason why the markets went 10 times. That same house, 200,000 in 2010, today it's almost 70, 100,000, almost $1 million. And you get a little shitty bungalow or a little shitty
And what's
house.
the interest that like? a lot of-
Plus interest, see, we're not even getting into that because it's more complicated to explain. Basically, those exchange students or the rich people that come here, 200,000 on nothing, and they're topping an extra dollar on top of that. This time, the 200,000, the market is going too high. People are buying too much. Rich billionaires, millionaires from overseas are coming and they're buying them. This time, the house is worth $1 million. 10 more years, it's going to be worth $2 million. Guys like me cannot afford to get any of this. A lot of people
But
can't.
here's the thing. They have to be extra. That's what you say. To afford the house.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's about. How about if there's too many houses? Do they have to pay extra? Let's say.
If there's too many houses,
let's
okay,
say-
it's like
let's
what,
say-
it's
let's
like
say
when
we
I'm
have-
selling you.
We have 500,000 free house.
Yeah.
Let's say we have 500,000 free house.
Where are we gonna get free houses when you gotta pay for laborers, you gotta
No,
pay
no,
for
no,
the
no.
workers, you gotta pay the tax, you gotta pay. It's more
So
complicated than it
here's
is.
the thing. Canada bring like 500,000 people, and they build each year around 20,000 house. How that math work?
Well,
How that math work? You need the math.
okay,
You need to match. If you need to bring people, there's no problem. You can bring 1 million, build 100,000.
okay, but here's the thing. What about the old Canadians? Not my parents' generation, not
No,
my
no, no,
grandparents'
yeah.
generation. See, now I gotta defend Canadians too on this point too right now.
Oh,
What about the young kids today that are finishing university at 24, 25, and they're born and raised in this country,
okay.
and the ones like me for 37 years here and whatever. What about us? We get some kind of loan, maybe with 0% interest or something.
Oh,
Hold on, we got so many Canadians, first generation, second, third generation, who still live on rent.
I know.
And a lot of them can't make ends meet.
And still live with
So,
their
so
family.
our government, before we bring people coming in, we need to take care of our own first.
That's what I'm saying. Housing. I
Yeah.
said that from the beginning.
First, we gotta
housing.
take care of our own, then we gotta worry about bringing people, and then they take care of themselves. See, back in the 80s, 90s, that's how it was, the mentality.
But here's the thing. It's all come back to the housing. We don't have enough housing.
No, we don't.
And the thing is, we only focus about bringing
And we
people.
don't have enough
We say that we make
infrastructure in different provinces. That's the fucking problem.
So the thing is like the government, like if they say they want to bring immigrant, okay, that's their business. However, their business as well to make sure
Okay.
everyone can afford a house,
Absolutely.
and that by building housing, not like give just for private company to build. The government, if they're going to bring that number, the government must build housing
Sure.
by themselves.
Yeah.
They need to start doing that, not just dependent on some companies to do that. That's not a responsibility. It's the government responsibility to make sure everyone live, not to bring people and at the end of the day they live in the street, and that's what's going on.
No, I agree.
So the thing is, we talk about immigrant issue. It's not the immigrant issue. It's
It's
how
the whole
to
issue.
run it.
It's the whole issue.
How to run the issue how to make everything fine. And that's, I don't know, it's my responsibility to make everyone living.
Okay.
I'm not
Okay.
the head of the government.
Here's the problem with Canada. Another day I'll get into US. It's the whole dynamics. It's
The US is a different story. We're
Yeah,
not
yeah.
living in US.
totally,
No, I don't
totally.
care.
Yeah. Let's get into Canada right now. Okay, as a Canadian, I'm gonna say though, our issue is too many people, not enough infrastructures.
Yeah.
Just like you were mentioning in Hamilton, there was this plant and they closed it down and people went. Years ago, we had GM in St. Catharines, they closed it down. They started shipping it to either China or India or Mexico or different parts in the world for cheaper labor. Because imagine, they're gonna end up paying guys like you and me that work, well, with today's standards, $100 an hour. Back in the 90s or early 2000s, it used to be $20, $25 an hour, while minimum wage was only $5 or $7, $8 an hour, right?
Mm.
So at that time in the 90s, $25 was like making $100 an hour today. And in today's standards, who's gonna work $25 an hour in this high infrastructure?
25, what do you do with it? You cannot even rent the house.
You can't.
You cannot even rent
You
the
can't.
house. What do you do with 25?
Our minimum wage is 15, 16 right
and a
now.
half?
Yeah, that's what it went up to. See, I don't follow too much. I try to, but 16 and a half, you can't do shit with that too nowadays.
You cannot even, like, you know what? I'm telling you something. Before the war, like, war always changed everything. Like, even in Europe now, they have a lot of, like, problems because the war is going on. But the thing is, there, the government support was going on. Support the people. Okay, like, they have some support. Here we have nothing. We have no problem. Syria, 2010, on minimum wage,
Mm-hmm.
you can afford before the war.
Go ahead. I'm going to
Yeah.
mention another thing about
Yeah.
that. Go ahead.
So they, on minimum wage, they can afford to rent a house, bring their groceries to the table, make the living, and pay the bills.
Absolutely.
You cannot do vacation, you cannot do saving on minimum, okay. But on one man is enough on minimum to have like minimum life
Yeah.
with his family.
Yeah.
Today in Canada, on one income, I'm saying not minimum, on one income, it's not enough to rent a house.
Mm.
Insurance, car, gas, grocery. People cannot afford that anymore.
No, they can't. Because I told you from 80s, 90s, it used to be $100 could have lasted you a whole month worth of groceries. Today, you go somewhere less than a half hour, you're already spending $100, $200. They're sucking our fucking blood. That's what they're doing. They're sucking us hanging dry. That's what's going on.
I saw a lot of people moving to Dubai or Saudi or something. A lot of people I met
It's even
like,
more expensive there too, no?
no, but they have like they get paid well and it's better. I saw people used to come from all over to Canada.
Mhm.
I met a lot of people they moving out and they moving out a lot. And the thing is because it's becoming every day it's difficult life.
Yeah.
And no break, like no break. And the government, what the government have done something for people.
Oh.
Like they don't need to. Here's the thing: it's different that the government need to find solution or the government need to give you money. I don't want to. You know what they say? Don't give me a fish, give me a root.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Teach me how to fish.
Okay.
Don't give me a fish.
Here's what's
And that's the
going on.
government thing.
Yeah.
Don't give me like $100 or something. They say like I give you some support. I don't want that
Yeah.
support. I want a way to live, and that's it. And everyone has right to that.
Yeah, here's what's going on though. Okay, I don't know how simple terms I can bring it, but our government, number one, before the people, let's start with number one. Canada needs Canadian interest. Canadian people's interest, number one. As an interest, as in, we're not part of any war in the world. We're not part of those drug cartel wars going on in South America or Latin America, and whether the borders of Mexico or Colombia, wherever the hell. We have no business.
I don't know about.
No, you don't. I'm gonna get there.
Yeah.
Which U.S. has that issue.
I don't know.
There-
Here's the thing: we live in Canada.
Wait.
Let's focus about Canada.
Well, that's what I'm saying right now. we're getting ourselves involved because we're part of NATO, we're part of United Nations, we're part of these things. We don't have Canadian interest. We have no business overseas. We don't have business in the Middle East. We don't have the business in Ukraine, Russia, all this war going on over there. I don't want to be part of it. A lot of Canadians, especially like you, who are taxpayers, a lot of our tax-paying dollars are going to that. We have no business in the Middle East. We don't have business in Asia. We don't have business anywhere in Eastern Europe or Africa or wherever else. Okay, I don't want to offend anybody. I know I got friends from all around the world. We need to focus on our own economy. We need to clean up our own little backyard over here. You know what I mean by backyard? Our own country.
Well, the thing is,
We have a lot of unemployment rate. We have a lot of people on welfare or government pension or whatever these things, right? We need everybody to work fairly and get paid fairly, and people to pay for their expenses, and people to live happy, just like you're saying, and people to afford houses, make it affordable so everybody can afford. Not everybody ends up living on rent to rent, and then one day they get kicked out of their apartment and that's it, they're done, right?
well, here's the thing that, like, you mentioned something very important about like zero interest.
About the
Like-
old-comers like us who for
Like,
years.
let's say for the first house, anyone going to buy ever, they give them zero interest.
Sure.
They give them like they have program to give you like 10% support of the house, you know.
Well, first time buyer, I believe it's 10%,
Yes.
20%.
Yeah,
something.
then it's then
But who's gonna afford $1 million? Who's gonna fucking put
But here's the thing.
200,000 up front?
But-
That's the fucking
but the
thing.
interest,
Yeah.
interest today is like way crazy.
It's like
And
6-7%.
And plus on that, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Let's say the government built new houses.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mhm.
let's work like that, and they give like a break, only allowed to buy it as a first buyers.
Mm-hmm.
Like those houses, only for first buyers.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to sell it, you can sell it. Okay. However, there's no break on it.
Mm-hmm.
For example, you buy your first house.
Yeah.
You have zero interest, and on top of that, you have a discount for the government housing.
Sure.
Okay, like let's say 20% discount.
Mhm.
This 20% discount will help you a lot. Well, if you want to move to a bigger house, you can buy your house. You have some money now. Now you are on your own.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm going to buy your house, I'll get that 20% off. But you cannot get that 20% off anymore, which is fair.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't have programs like that because they don't even think about building housing. They don't even think about where people are going to live. What they think about it, we need more worker, we need more tax, we need more and more and more.
Absolutely.
That
I
was
agree
going
with
on.
you.
And the thing is, they don't care about families anymore because they do everything to break what's family value. And why? They need everyone to work. They don't want families. They don't want to spend money on families.
Because all they care about
We
is the
care-
dollar. That's all they care about.
That's like, how about we bring like immigrant here that support families, which will be easier. If you come as a migrant, that's on you. But if you are a family here, you say to the government, my family still needs support.
Yeah.
They say like, yeah, you are family.
Yeah,
So
but-
they don't care about families. They don't care about the value of the family. They don't care about housing. It's not just about immigrant. It's about what the government doing today. And that's the problem.
Yeah. Well, not just immigrants, also refugees, also people.
Well, the
who are
refugees
doing-
are tiny percent of the immigrant.
Well,
No,
they're
no,
totally different.
no,
Well,
but the
well,
percentage,
yeah.
the percentage is tiny.
well, tell me something. When you first came, you came as a refugee or?
I came as an immigrant, yeah.
Oh, you came as immigrant.
Yeah.
There you go. That's why it's very difficult, and I completely understand your point.
No, but the thing,
But
like,
what
a lot
about,
of-
what about refugees that
like
came?
I came, like I was a refugee in Lebanon. I came here as an immigrant when
Okay,
I was here,
immigrant.
like refugee immigrant, and that
There,
program.
there is refugees that came to this country. I don't want to mention the countries. I'm sure everybody knows.
I came as a refugee immigrant
Okay,
here.
I know people who sponsored refugees here. And you know, here's the thing you don't know. You came here as an immigrant.
I know, you know what? I know, okay. I know a lot of story about that, and the thing is that a lot of people came as a refugee immigrant as sponsorship. They have to work hard, by the way. Some of them, I don't know.
Yeah, some of them, I'm gonna be flat out with some of them.
Some of them, I don't know, but a lot of people, the 90% of people, they have to work. all the families.
I'm not
Like
saying
they
anything
are
about that.
four people. They have to work 4
Look.
people to afford rent, to afford bread on the table,
I
to
get
afford
it.
the car
George,
insurance.
I get
The car
it.
insurance.
I get it.
You know how much the car insurance?
Okay,
For-
now we're getting into car insurance.
No. I'm telling you something. For newcomers,
What's,
500.
I know, of course.
What is that?
Well,
Like, here's the thing. I'm working for who?
okay,
Who I'm working for?
okay, let's get into the refugee topic now. Forget about
No, I'm not talking about refugee.
No, I'm talking about it. I
Okay,
want to mention
I'm going to
something.
talk about sport.
No. We'll get to sport in a minute. Or we can
Because
save
we-
it another day. Hold on.
No, we talk about sport today.
No. Now you're cutting me off. Hey, I
No.
listen to you. I respect you.
The thing is like
Okay, I understand the immigrants point, and there's some refugee immigrants, I get that. There was a little percentage of some refugees that they did come here, and I know people, I don't want to mention their names. They did sponsor certain people, guess what, they ended up staying more than a year, 2 years in their house. After that, after 1-2 years, they decided, some of the refugees after 1 or 2 months, they stayed and then they moved in an apartment, they started working and they started paying the bills and they were on their own, which is good. Everybody here is independent after all. But there were some people who sponsored certain people, there's a
how many
percentage.
percent? Like 1%?
I don't know, but I know people that I've talked to from not just Armenians, from even Arabs or Syrians or Lebanese people, all kinds. They said they brought them here. Instead of leaving after 1-2 months, they started sitting around in their social media. They don't want to work. They don't want to do nothing. They stayed more than 2 years. Eventually, you have to put the brakes on one of them and say, okay, you got to get out. I can barely take care of my own family. I got rent, I got expense, I got this and that. And then they started going, oh, he brought me here, they didn't treat me right, blah, 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 all this stuff. Well, sorry, I'm a family with 2 kids. You also have a family, you got a child, We can do our best. It's good that people help for good cause for certain refugees or whatever, but the certain ones who come here and they don't want to work or they want everything handed to them, doesn't work that way. See, there's an old saying we have in English. I scratch your back, you scratch my back. It's give and take, basically. I help you, you help me. That's the thing.
Well, Sarkis,
But there is certain people, they don't like to abide by that concept.
how about 99% of the other group of people they keep?
We're saying 99%. Let's say 60%.
No.
Let's be honest. Let's be fair.
No. To be honest, here's the thing. I
Okay,
came
what
in
about
a
the
time-
other group?
I came in a time when I came, around 2015-16, a lot of people came as sponsorship,
Okay.
And I know a lot of people at the time because when you are newcomers, you know the newcomers.
Yeah.
So I more know newcomers than you to know because as a newcomer, you just want someone to understand you, to understand how you're thinking, to be on the same level,
Yeah.
to ask them what they need and they ask you what you need and something like that. I know a lot of people they came as a newcomer in that period,
Yeah.
However, small percentage, they depend on the sponsorship. The biggest percentage, the biggest one, they have to work hard. And I think when we arrived, I remember we lived in a house, it was worth 275.
Okay.
Today it's worth 800,000. And we talk about short period of time, it's time for house time for. So that explains how much people have to work a lot. I know a lot of people they have to work a lot.
Yeah,
I say a lot.
I'm not saying no.
And they say
You're right.
they're not working 8 hours per week, per day. They don't even work people working 60 hours
Yeah.
a week.
Yeah.
Okay. So those people.
I'm not against
so
them.
those-
I'm not against them.
So
No,
you cannot be against it. Actually, you need some sympathy for them. You need
I have a lot of sympathy for
because I
them.
think people
Those who
they
work
came,
look.
people they came with educated.
Yeah.
People they came and the thing is, at the end of the day, that's what happened. They have to work. But the thing is, they have to work a lot. Those people, a lot of people you talk about, they have to work a lot. Some I know 4 people in the house, 4 people they have to work. If they need to study, they need to study and work.
Yeah.
Even though if they live with their family.
Okay.
And what that tell you? Tell you people have to work. They don't have option. Even they came on sponsorship
Mhm.
program. Because the thing is, everything is expensive.
It is
So
expensive.
so like
And it's getting 10 times.
and if you
That's
don't
another thing I want to mention too. But I'm glad you're
like,
pointing these
but
out
the
too.
thing is, we talk about small percentage. They depend on sponsorship. Okay, but there are a lot of people actually, even people like go on welfare. What the welfare give you today?
Doesn't
You
give
cannot
much.
you cannot even go to the Costco twice.
No, you
without
can't.
money. So
But some people, they don't mind living shitty. They don't care as long as it's free for them.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. A lot of people, even they born as a Canadian and the grandfather's Canadian, he will live on welfare.
Hmm.
You know that, no? Not just immigrant.
Yeah,
A
not
lot of
just
people,
immigrant.
yeah,
There's,
a lot- I know
there's
people-
Canadian borns who are like that.
Yeah, they just live on welfare.
They need a good slap on the wrist too.
So here's the thing.
That's it.
In the society, you have different type of people.
Yeah.
People, some lazy, people hard worker. So we cannot say, again, it's immigrant or like born Canadian. You have the same percentage.
Yeah.
You have people are lazy, you have people work hard. I know.
Our government has to do something about that.
But here's the thing, a lot of people work hard. And they are not just work hard, they are working too much hard.
Yeah.
Because they
They're,
don't have a break.
they're suffering because
don't
of
have
the
a break.
lazy people.
No, why
Because
is that?
of-
Why is that?
Because he would work less if that guy worked too, and if that guy paid
Okay,
taxes too.
how about, I don't care if that work or not. I care about when I go to my job, I need to pay fair. I need to be paid equal with what I need for living.
Absolutely.
So-
We all do.
So here's the thing, some people, let's say they live on welfare, let them live on welfare. That's not my business.
It's costing
No,
us
it
more
doesn't
money.
cost me anything.
Okay.
As an individual,
Okay.
If I am an individual working hard, what that cost me?
Okay.
My tax, I'm paying my
Okay,
tax
George.
anyway.
Do we agree on one thing?
What is it?
We agree that there's some people who are Canadians who are on the welfare, and we do agree it's some percentage on the
Immigrants are welfare, okay.
Okay, we agree on to that then.
Of course.
Okay. And also, we do agree that there's a lot of unnecessary shit being spent on wars or other political, geopolitical things that we should not be involved with.
Government always waste their money. What about waste their money for things people
How about the things for healthcare, for God's sakes? Our healthcare, it's gotten worse over the years. And you know, a lot of people, I do have friends who are in the healthcare business, they're doctors or they're whatever, physicians or whatever. The thing is, okay, they're understaffed. There's people who are getting underpaid, and there's ones who are getting paid a lot. But here's the thing, there's a big weight in the hospitals. See, how about if we stop spending on the unnecessary shit? We start spending more on our healthcare, and we start spending on guys like you who lived 6 years, who wants to own a property, guys like me who wants to own, and other people that want to own. How about we contribute the people who are working hard in this country? And those who don't want to work hard, we either tell them, either get a job or get the hell out, go elsewhere.
Well, it doesn't work like that.
Why doesn't it? See,
Because
this thing's
like-
been going
like
on the
I
last 20 years right now.
Okay, it's kind of an exception than any other country.
Well, I don't care about any other
No, no,
country. I
but-
care about the country you and I were living
Here's the
in right
thing.
now.
Let's say you don't work hard. You're born in Canada, okay?
Oh, I work my ass
No.
off
But let's say
every day.
let's say you are from the other example who you don't work hard.
Hmm.
Should Canada kick you out of the country?
Yes,
Where to go?
elsewhere, it doesn't matter.
Where?
Or, okay, not kick you out, that was a little bit derogatory.
So like
Okay, not kick you out, push them or force them, find them something to do.
find us something to do.
For
Find us
example,
something to do. Like the same what happened in Europe.
recycling. That starts with that. Recycling, cleaning garbages off the
Well,
streets.
that's what
or-
they do in Europe. In Europe, like you go on, they call it something like
Social assistance.
Yeah,
Something
they
like
call it
that, yeah.
social.
Social, yeah,
Yeah.
social assistance.
Yeah, but they call it social in Europe. So like you go on social, you say, okay, I'm not working. I say, okay, you know what? We're going to find you a job. If you don't find a job, we're going to find you, and you have to accept it. You don't have option.
That's right.
That's it.
That's what we
But
need
like
to
with the exam you mentioned, like it was quite like
Okay.
too much out of the I don't know.
No,
But the thing is right. Like give them something. Let them do something. Like that's fine. It's fair.
don't
Anything.
don't misunderstand me. I have parents that came here as immigrants, and my parents, they suffered a lot here. And at that time, okay, the economy was even worse that time. And at that time, oh my God, my mom had to find jobs full-time here and there, working bank, working house cleaning, this and that, right? My dad too, you know, with the church, this, that, and also he had to do tailoring, alterations, and all that stuff because the church didn't pay that much for him, right?
Yeah, it's small church.
Absolutely. The problem is the old comers, we suffered a lot. Even the ones today, we're still suffering a lot. And you guys are suffering too. And I
Everyone suffer in Canada
Yeah.
today.
that is
Who
why
doesn't suffer?
that
Everyone
is
don't
why
want to
see,
everyone.
we gave out so many information we piled up here right now. We are agreeing to one thing. We all have to work. And me, I don't have a problem with anybody. I love everybody. Just like you and I love
It's not
everyone.
that. It's just like the thing is, how much you work and whatever you do is not enough today. It's not enough today, and that's the reality. Today, if you cannot buy a house, that's something wrong. Here's the thing. Just I always say like funny thing like I'm going off the topic a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like like you cannot buy fresh meat in here.
No.
If you need to buy fresh meat, you cannot buy it. It's illegal. But you can buy. I'm saying
Processed milk, of course. Everything's processed.
Yeah,
right?
but you cannot buy fresh meat.
No, you can't.
So
Because it takes longer to make and this and that, and you gotta go to a certain farm.
no, anyway, it's illegal.
I
They
don't know how
want
that
to-
process
yeah.
works, but yeah.
So I always say it's something funny when place you can buy fresh meat, but you can't buy marijuana. And here's the thing: it's something funny about it. Like a lot of things, it's not straightforward. It's not right.
No, it's not.
Here's the thing: you have to accept it. Okay, but what the alternative? What the option I have? What the option people today have?
We don't have another option.
You have to keep going. You have just to
Exactly.
work and work and work. And for what?
See
If
this.
you cannot even pay your bills.
This is the thing. This is my show. It's real democracy. That's what I like to call it. Real fucking democracy. Everybody has a voice over here. Everybody speaks their mind, just like I have you here, and I want you to speak your mind. Because I learned something. There's things I agree or don't agree, but it doesn't matter. There is no right and wrong answer, right? The thing is, like I was telling you, we did agree on one thing, but the thing you were saying, like, we don't have option. Yeah, because we all question the government, but government does not give us a straight fucking
they don't
answer.
care.
They feed us bullshit all the time.
They don't care.
And on top of the bullshit, they like to force their bullshit on us.
Yeah. Anyway,
Does that make sense?
it's totally makes sense. Anyway, you wear nice pajama.
Yeah. Anyways, another time we will talk a different topic. And folks, please leave your comments down below. If you guys tell us if you guys like the type of topic that we're talking about, and also leave your comments and tell us what else you guys like us to talk about. Now we like to get into the fun stuff. We like to get into the music. After all, I'm the singer, and I'm going to do some performance for you. And also, I like to have before the closing statement, I like to translate everything in a short form in Armenian, everything I said for our Armenian fans, all our brothers and sisters out there. Anyways, Sirelineres այսօր լավ հաղորդում ունեցանք, իմ ընկերս, որ եկավ այսօր, George Ghazalian networking business-ի մեջ էինք, George Ghazalian-ը առաջին սկզբ իմա թարգմանությունը ունեմ, որ ինչ խոսեցանք անգլերենով, George Ghazalian-ը հասակե քաղաքեն է Սուրիայում, որ բզդիկ քաոտ է, պատկերացուր եթե Հայաստան Երևանը գա կամ Գյումրին գա, բզդիկ փոքր քաոտներ կան, բյուրականի պես կամ բազմախբյուրի պես, ասանք բզդիկ քյուղերու պես, ինքը հասակի փոքր քյուղեմն է Սուրիայի մեջ, որ ամեն մարդ չի ճանչնար, ինչպես ես ալ բզդիկ քաղաք է St. Catharines, Ontario-ին եմ եսալ, ես իմ ծրագիրս միշտ նոր մարդիկ կբերեմ եւ ինքը արաբախոս հայ է ինքը, հայերեն չի գիտեր արաբերեն եւ անգլերեն գիտեր խոսիլ եւ շատ հայեր կան ամբողջ աշխարհի մեջ, որ բզդիկ քաոտներու մեջ, բզդիկ քյուղերու մեջ, նույնիսկ զտյալ հայեր ունենք Թուրքիա, նույնիսկ զտյալ հայեր Իրաքի մեջ կամ Հորդանայի մեջ կամ Սուրիայի մեջ ունենք եւ ուզենք որ ամեն գոմի հայերու դեսագետը լսել, ասանք լավ նյութեր խոսեցանք, ուզեմ որ ադիգա գիտնակ, եւ իր դժվարությունը, որ ինքը երբ որ Կանադա եկավ 5-6 տարի առաջ, եւ ինչպես որ Գաբրիգոր իբր իմիգրանտ բան, եսա որ հոս ծնած մեծած եմ 1986-ին եկան ծնողքս, եսա 87-ին ծնեցա, մինչև հիմա ես հայկական քաութը բայրեմ, հայկական մշակույթը, հայկական երաժշտությունը եւ ես կշարունակեմ որ բայլու աս մեր հայկական մշակույթը եւ եթե ուրիշ հայրական աշխարհի որևէ մեկ կողմը գրնակ զանգել իմ WhatsApp համարից 905 357 8444 905 357 8444 զանգեցեք, գազկեր դվեք, բաներ դվեք, եթե կուզեք որ օր մնալ երևիլ իմ podcast-իս վրա, անունս Sarkis Serge Melengitchian III, Manuel Melengitchian-ը իմ բաբիգիս հորեղբորը տղան է, ինչ որ է, հիմա մենք երկով շարունակենք, մեր հյուրը այսօր եկավ, մեր հյուրին ալ քիչ ուրախացնենք, ցեզի ալ ուրախացնեմ, ինչու՞ չէ, ինչ որ է, հիմա սկսենք, ամեն շաբաթ նորանոր նյութեր ունենք. Anyways, George, since you are our first guest of our debut episode, I got a special song just for you, and I know you're from Syria and whatever. Let's have some Arabic and some Spanish together, and let's get some dancing together. What do you think?
I'm not just dancing now.
Oh, it's okay. I'll dance with you if you want to. You could dance, you could clap, whatever you want. Here, I got a microphone too. You can sing too if you want.
Yeah.
Don't be shy. Here, let's make sure the mics are working. Check, check. Perfect. Oh, it works. Here, you want to hold the mic? Only if you feel like singing.
Okay.
Now, Sir George, thank you for coming today, brother. This one I did just for you. Yeah, hey. Olur, yol, gösterdiğin sapsarı. Bir korkutucuyla var. Hoppa! Ladies and gentlemen, the song is from Gypsy Kings and his stars. Yalabina Yallah in Arabic and Spanish. I did a special presentation for our friend George here. Here I got a nice Armenian singer too that sings in Arabic. Kara Sharlaja, a big time legend back in the 80s. I like to play his song too if you guys don't mind. Then I'll be singing a couple of my songs too. Here's a song from Ara Shabazian, Lebanese Armenian, now residing in the United States.
great big-time legend. A lot of people don't know about Sarkis Ghazalian. Have you heard of Sarkis Ghazalian? One of my favorite songs of all time. Yallah, Shofer, Yallah. Elare, hoppa! Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now I'm going to be singing for our closing moment. I'll be singing 2 songs, and then we will wrap this up. Anyways, we will be having weekly episodes every Monday. The reason why I picked every Monday, because I used to love the Attitude Era, the Monday Night Wars, back when WWF and WCW used to go head-to-head. In the wrestling show, they used to
go on the same time slot. So because of the Monday Night Wars, I picked Monday for the special podcast every week with a different guest. Anyways, thank you, George, for coming. And right, so we can finish this up, and we'll have a lot more topics in the following weeks. Hopefully I see you again, my good friend. And we'll finish this up with nice 2 special songs. I like to sing a song now that's a cover by our greatest legend, the king of Armenian pop music. God rest his soul. He's up in the air into heaven right now. I like to make that cover from our king, our legend, Tol Bavdatlian. I like to sing his song. In today's standards, in today's days, this song does not get a lot of recognition, so I like to sing it right now. God rest his soul, and I like to drink to him too on top of that. Okay, check. Check. All right, George, let's get this party going. What happened?
I don't know.
Bluetooth pairing.
There you go.
Something must have happened.
And it wasn't a song.
Yeah, it cut me off, I think. Hold on, maybe the Bluetooth went away. Oh, bring it back.
Bluetooth connected.
And it wasn't a song, Sarkis.
Yeah, it was. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, something happened with the internet. That means it's time to go, looks like.
Iată sofii stalice, pensavitian, amako seră la voce săru. Jesiunem kokim koadu cajne, im srdi mešta ošvele skoamu. Zaranem košu terit, sovatsko apurit, măsumem jes, aransko šunči, je tu vaši vodeš udari, džanides, siro poskerik speli. Zaranem košu terit, sovatsko apurit, măsumem jes, aransko šunči, je tu vaši vodeš udari, džanides, siro poskerik speli.
Thank you all for being here. We'll see you guys next week, next Monday. And George, thank you once again. I appreciate your time. Anyways, everybody, Happy New Year and see you guys next Monday. And Merry Christmas, of course. Merci Sirelineres, Kal Yerbu Shapti, Amen Yerbu Shapti, Asank Zrakirner Gunenank, Noreng Deslavink Menk Polorus Miasin. Thank you very much. Merci Shat. Bachikter Polorit, Yev, Happy New Year. Okay, we're done, George. Yeah? Here, I'm gonna shut it off. Yeah, give me 1 second. Just put something here while it's rolling or something,